Morning, everyone. Welcome to week 3 of Business Mathematics. Our topic for this week is fractions. So, for this week, we will define fraction, numerator, denominator, fraction bar, unit fraction, and multi. We will also recognize the meaning of proper fractions, improper fractions, mixed numbers, and equivalent fractions. And the last objective that we will be going to discuss in our topic is to understand and use fractions in everyday lives. So for this week's topic, it is about fractions, its classification, and how are we going to change improper fraction to a whole or mixed number, and also change mixed numbers to improper fractions. So let's proceed to our lesson of fraction. So while our exposure to the numeration system deals mostly with whole numbers, we also come across figures wherein the use of fraction is inescapable. Such terms as halves, fourths, and quarters are used with reference to measurement like quarter to 12, half a mile, three-fourths full, and so on. Like negative numbers, fractions supplement whole numbers which are sometimes inadequate for accurate measurement and computation. If a unit is divided equally into two or more parts, each equal part is the fractional part of the unit, which is usually expressed in fraction. For example, we have here an examples. So we have here a whole, one whole, and then halves, and then one thirds, and then one fourths, one fifths, and so on and so forth. So let's go to the definition of fraction. So we have here the parts of fraction. Above is the numerator, and what separates the two numbers is what we call the fractional bar. And below the numerator is what we call denominator. Usually, unit fraction has one above, while non-unit fraction has numbers two above. So we have here the definition and the parts of fraction. Now let's go to the classification of fractions. For the classification of fractions, we have three classification, and this is proper fractions, mixed fraction, and improper fraction. So these are the types of fraction. You can see the differences. So for proper fractions, these are fractions whose numerators are smaller than denominators. So we have here 3 is less than 5. So 3 is our numerator, here is our fractional bar, and 5 is our denominator. That's why it is a proper fraction because the numerator is smaller than the denominator. These fractions specify values of more than 1. So this is it. We have also improper fraction. For improper fraction, these are fractions whose numerators are greater than or equal to the denominator. So we have here improper fraction. We could see that 5 is greater than 3. And 5 is our numerator here, and 3 is our denominator. That's why it is classified as an improper fraction. And last classification is mixed fraction. For mixed fraction, it is a combination of fraction and whole number written as the sum of integer or whole number and a proper fraction. An improper fraction can be expressed as a mixed number or vice versa. So we can see the difference. For mixed fraction, there is an integer or a whole number. So these are the types of fraction. Now, since we had discussed the classification of fractions, now we will go into changing improper fraction to a whole or mixed line between the numerator and denominator indicates division. So the fractional bar that we have in our fraction indicates division. And in solving problems, it is more convenient or easier to work with an improper fraction than a mixed number. So to change an improper fraction to a whole or mixed number, we must divide the numerator by the denominator. We have here an example. So this is how we are going to convert improper fraction to a mixed number. We have 7 over 3. So this is our answer. But how did we get this answer? So step 1, set up a division problem and divide 7 into 3. So let's divide 7 divided by 3. So we got 2, and then 2 multiplied by 3 is 6. So this is the usual division setup. And then we have 1 as our quotient and 2 as our remainder and 3 as our denominator. So step 2, the result is 2 with a remainder of 1. So this is our remainder, and which we write as 2. We have here 2, 1 over, or 1/3. So again, if we are going to change improper fraction or mixed number, so we have to set up a division problem and divide 7. Divide the numerator to our denominator. So our denominator will become our divisor and our numerator will become our dividend. And here is our quotient, and the quotient will become the whole number or the integer. And our remainder will become the numerator. And our denominator or our divisor will still remain the same as our denominator. So next one that we have is, how are we going to change mixed numbers to improper fractions? So we have known the mathematical setup, or the setup or the solution on how to change improper fraction to a whole or mixed number. Now we are going to learn on how to change mixed numbers to improper fractions. So this conversion is very convenient when we perform most of the basic operations with fractions. Below are the ways in converting a mixed number to an improper fraction. So we have here, first we have to multiply the denominator and the whole number. So once again, for this example, this 3 is our numerator and 3 is our integer or whole number, and 4 is our denominator. So step 1, we have to multiply denominator 4 to our whole number, which is 3. So 4 times 3 is 12. And we will going to add that answer to the numerator. So we have the 12 as our product. And then we will going to add 12 to our numerator, which is 3. So 12 plus 3 is 15. Once we got the answer, we put that answer over equals to 11. And we will put our answer 11 over the denominator, which is 4. So if we are going to change 2 and 3/4 to an improper fraction, we are going to get 11 over 4. So we have discussed the classification of fractions and how are we going to change improper fraction to a whole number or mixed number and change mixed number to a proper fraction. I will show you some videos about fractions as well. We have here an example of lesson about fractions, and it is an introduction. I just saw it in YouTube. I'll just post this on the reference.
Our lesson for today is all about fraction concept. So, anong fraction? By definition, sabi dito, it is a part of a whole o parte siya ng isang buo. So, kung makikita natin dito sa ating figure, meron ditong hinati sa 4 at hinati sa 5. So, yung naka-shaded part, nagpapakita lamang na yun ay parte ng isang buo na pwede nating isulat as 3/4 or 3/4 and 4/5 or 4/5. Tingnan muna natin ano ba ang fraction at ano ang hindi fraction. Itong nakikita nating rectangle na nahati sa 3, pwede nating sabing hindi siya fraction. Bakit? Kasi ang fraction ay kailangan hinahati in equal parts. So makikita natin dito, mas malaki yung ibang mga parts kaysa dun sa nasa gilid na maliit lang ang pagkakahati sa kanya. So hindi natin siya pwedeng tawagin fraction kasi yung rectangle ay hindi nahati into equal parts. Ganon din itong bilog. So nahati siya sa 3 pero ang bawat isa sa kanila ay hindi pantay-pantay ang hati. So, ano ba ang fraction? So, kailangan kapag hinati ang isang buo, nahahati siya into equal parts. Katulad na nakikita natin dito sa 3 figure sa baba. Yung ating pentagon ay nahati into 5 equal parts. Yung circle sa gitna ay nahati naman into 5 equal parts. At ito namang sa kabila ay nahati into equal parts. So, lahat sila ay pwede natin tawaging fraction. So, ano ba ang mga parts ng fraction? At paano sinusulat ang fraction? So, kung tayo ay merong bilog na nahati sa 4 na equal parts at ang shaded parts niya ay 3, pwede natin siyang isulat as 3/4. Ano ba ang 3? Ang 3, ang tawag natin sa kanya ay numerator. Ang numerator ay yung number na nasa taas ng fraction line. Sinasabi niya kung ilang parts ang kinuha o kung ilang parts ang may shade. So, makikita natin dito sa bilog, 3 yung may shade. So, 3 yung ating numerator. Ano naman ito? Ang tawag natin sa kanya ay fraction line. Kasi fraction line ay nilalagay para mahiwalay natin yung number sa taas at sa number sa baba na tinatawag natin numerator and denominator. So, yung babang number naman, ang tawag natin sa kanya ay denominator. Ano ba ang denominator? Siya yung number na sa baba na tumutukoy kung ilang parts hinati ang isang buo. So, pakitandaan, yung number sa taas ay numerator. Ang nagsiseparate sa kanila ay fraction line. Sa baba naman, ang tawag natin ay denominator. So, paano tayo nagni-name or nagpapangalan ng fraction? So, example dito, halimbawa, meron tayong pizza na hinati sa 8 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Kung halimbawa, kakainin ko yung 3 doon sa ating pizza, ang tawag natin, o kung papangalanan natin yung 3 parts sa kinain ko, ang pangalan natin sa kanya ay 3/8. 3, yun yung parts na kinuha ko o kinain ko. And 8, yun yung kabuuan ng hati nung pizza. Sunod naman, kung meron uli akong isang buong pizza at hinati uli sa 8, binigay ko yung 5 parts. Kung papangalanan natin yung binigay kong 5 parts, ay pwede nating sabihin 5/8. 5, yun yung binigay natin o tinanggal natin sa buong pizza. And 8, yun yung hati ng ating pizza. Another example, kung meron tayong bilog at hinati ito sa 10 at may shade yung 9, so ang name niya ay 9/10. Ganon din dito sa ating rectangle, kung siya ay hinati into 4 parts at ang may shade lang ay yung isang parte, ang name natin sa kanya ay 1/4. Isa lang ang may shade dun sa 4 na hati ng isang buo. Kung yung pentagon ay hinati din sa 5 at may shade ng 4, pwede natin siyang pangalanan as 4/5 or 4/5. Ganon din ang heart, kapag hinati sa gitna at may shade yung kabilang part, pwede natin siyang tawagin as 1/2 o kalahati. Last example, kung meron tayong pizza na hinati sa 6 na parts at kung makikita natin dito, may mga toppings pero sila ay separated sa isa't isa. So, ang toppings natin ay cheese, tomatoes, pepper, and olives. Kung titignan natin dyan at kung pangalanan natin yung parte na may cheese, ang toppings, pwede nating sabihin na ito ay 2/6 dahil dalawang parte ng isang buo ay cheese ang toppings. Ganon din sa tomatoes, 2/6 dahil dalawang parte ang may tomato dun sa 6 na hati ng pizza. Pepper, 1/6 dahil isang parte lang ng pizza ang may toppings ng pepper. At olives, 1/6 dahil isang parte lang din ng pizza ang may toppings na olives. That's all for today. Thank you for watching.
So that is one video that I had shown you regarding about introduction to fraction. Now I will show you another video regarding about fractions. Fractions, proper fraction, improper fraction, and mixed fraction. Again, a proper fraction has a numerator that is less than the denominator. Proper fraction has a value less than 1. Some examples of proper fractions we have here is 2/8 and 3/5. Say numerator is less than the denominator. An improper fraction is a numerator greater than the denominator and has a value greater than 1. Some examples of improper fractions are pictures or numbers we have. A mixed fraction is a combination of a proper fraction. This is one example that we have about proper fractions. So now, in your handouts or PDF, we have two activities, and we have activity 1, change each of the following fractions to a whole or mixed numbers. And for activity 2, change each of the fractions to improper fractions. So total of 10 items, or 5 items for each activity, and I will require you to answer 2 activities, activity 1 and activity 2. So total of 10 items only for your requirements. Also, I had created an activity on this slide. So write the fraction of the shape that is filled in. We have said it is, and also which is fractions, classification of fractions, changing improper fraction to a whole or mixed number, and changing mixed numbers to improper fraction. We also had defined fraction, numerator, denominator, fraction bar, fraction line, unit fraction, and multiple. And we had recognized the meaning of proper fractions, improper fractions, mixed numbers, and equivalent fractions. And we had understand and use fractions in everyday life. So for our references for this week's lesson, we have Business Mathematics K to 12 BE CABM strand from Sarmiento M. And also we have suggested readings from CF College, an institutional module of Business Mathematics. So once again, I will just require you to submit activity 1 and activity 2, total of 10 items. So total 5 items each, total of 10 items. And also, if you wanted to answer our activity in this slide, you are welcome to answer it, but no need to submit it. So thank you once again for this week. And before ending this lesson, I would like to say thank you and share a Bible verse about the book of Mark, chapter 9, verse 23. Said Jesus, everything is possible for one who believes. So nothing is impossible. So if you have time and if you want to share something about your life experience or something about a reflection about this Bible verse, you are very welcome to share it to me. You may send it personally to my Facebook Messenger, or you may also send it to our group chat to inspire and to encourage also